When exploring the history and creation of different games, one of my favorite things to do is look at the beta artwork and see how much has changed since the earlier stages of the game. Luckily for us, Pokemon seems to have quite a bit of early artwork depicting early stages of some Pokemon that we already know of, but more importantly, artwork of Pokemon that we've never heard of or seen before. And recently, Satoshi Tajiri, video game designer and the creator of the Pokemon franchise, has gotten his own manga, which I'm sure you've heard of by now. And I'm sure that you've also heard that there are a bunch of unused Pokemon designs stored away in there. Since we'll most likely revisit Kanto this year, there's a good chance that these unused Kanto and Johto designs for Pokemon might make a return in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, as well as some unused designs that were shown outside the manga. So in today's video, I just want to quickly talk about 10 of these unused designs and what they may be like if they appeared in the new Pokemon Switch games. What's going on, guys? HybridHero here. This is going to be a discussion video, and discussion videos on this channel means not that much editing. If you're into top 10 lists with more editing, I recently posted 2 really cool top 10s, one of which was with Pokemon Insider, so be sure to check those out if those are your thing. Or if you want more of a theory or speculation kind of video for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, then I recently posted a video on why I think Professor Willow might be the new professor of these new Switch games. So if any of those videos interest you, be sure to check them out. If you guys do enjoy this video, then be sure to hero punch that like button. If you don't, hit that dislike button. Let me know how you feel. Comment down below your thoughts and opinions after you're done watching the video. What unused Pokemon do you want to see in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? Do you think we're going to see some unused Pokemon in these games? And what are your opinions of these unused Pokemon? Let me know. Share the video around if you want to help support the channel. And finally, subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all my content. Starting us off, we're going to be taking a look at Beyblade Metal Fusion. Seriously, this thing looks like a hybrid between Clefairy and Hitmontop. And no, I would not make this my mascot if it were a real Pokemon, but I do think the concept is really cool. Yeah, we already do have a top-like Pokemon with Hitmontop, but this to me looks more like a Clefairy if it gained the fighting type. Maybe Clef or Clefairy could have a branched evolution in these new games, or a new regional or worldly variants. After leaving the moon and adapting to Earth, Clefairy may have gained the fighting type after observing the way humans live. Or maybe since things aren't so peaceful here compared to when I was on the moon, it tapped into its primal instincts or something. I think that's pretty solid. If Pikachu and Eevee are the mascots, then chances are that they'll get new additions in their family, and Clefairy's a Pokemon that's near mascot level with them, so I think it's very possible. Hey, Clefable's a strong tank. A more offensive fairy fighting version of it would definitely be alright with me. Speaking of Pikachu and its family, as you've heard by now, Gorochu is making headlines all over the world for being scrapped as the evolution of Raichu. Now I'm sure that this was done so that Pikachu could stay somewhat strong, cause let's face it, people already think that's ridiculous that Ash managed to beat people with his unevolved Pikachu, but if it was a first stage unevolved Pokemon and we have 3-part evolutionary line, then people would go even more insane. We already have Pichu to complete the line, so chances are that if Gorochu's coming back, then it'll probably be back as an evolution of Pikachu itself. As Pikachu's a mascot Pokemon, it makes sense for it to get a new evolution. There have been talks about Gorochu being the electric dark type, and that parallels well with Alolan Raichu's electric psychic type. So if we get an Alolan Gorochu or anything, I'd like to see an electric ground type to parallel regular Raichu. Or maybe electric fighting so that we can finally get that typing, and also to complete the fighting psychic dark trio. Moving on to some of the Pokemon that were basically the cause of this video, we're gonna start off with Jaggu. No. It's not meant to be an Indian boy Pokemon. It's meant to be a shark. I think anyways. I don't know. That's what Jaggu looks like to me. Jaggu's actually somewhat of a common name in India that basically means intelligent. But to be honest, this Jaggu doesn't look too intelligent to me. It actually looks a lot more like a brute. And that's perfectly fine, because I'd say that the only other brute looking Pokemon that we really got in Generation 1 was Gyarados. It's cool to see the evolution of how shark Pokemon were intended to look versus how they look now, since our staple shark Pokemon is currently Sharpedo. The fan art, as well as the art in the manga, makes it seem like number 68 Jaggu was meant to be a water steel type to me anyways. But of course, the steel type wasn't in Gen 1, so it may have just been intended to be a pure water type. But if it joins the party now, it can definitely share the type combination with Empoleon.
Crikey, mate, we have number 62 Crockett.
I never said I was a pro at accents, nor did I say I could ever do that. This one seems to be a fan favorite out of the unused designs, and I can definitely see why. Its tripped out, goofy, yet somewhat cool design is a unique combination of flavors that make for a dope looking Pokemon if you ask me. Psychic Dragon is a typing that I go for to play on its crocodile origins, and Psychedelic since it looks like it's tripping. Or maybe if it evolves, a Grass Dragon probably. But I'd be happy with a pure Dragon type too. I'm hoping that its fan popularity inspires Game Freak to bring it into the actual games with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. But they more than likely established all the Pokemon that we're gonna get for those games, so we're gonna have to hope that I made the cut or that it gets added in the future. Moving way back in time, we were all babies at one point, and so were our Pokemon, but besides their level, it's a little hard to tell when they just hatch out an egg, cause they look the same throughout their life, and they're born battle ready. That doesn't seem all too right, especially when you're born carrying another baby Pokemon. That's why I think it'd be cool to reintroduce this little infant Pokemon that just hatched out an egg. I think if every Pokemon had some sort of unusable baby form like this, it makes a lot more sense. And you could also make it work gameplay wise as well. If you want a perfect Pokemon and you don't like the nature that was passed down to the baby Pokemon, then maybe you can change the nature of the Pokemon by the way you take care of the baby. Nurture does tend to be nature after all. Of course, this would have to be a really quick form because people want to get battling pretty quickly. Again, it would make things a lot more realistic and it would definitely make things a lot more cool, and it could definitely be beneficial as well. Next up, we're gonna have a double entry. But before that, who's that Pokemon? That's right, it's Hoppa. Yeah, Hoppa. Hoppa was the prototype design for Chikorita and the grass starter in the alpha stages of Gold and Silver. But Hoppa wasn't alone. While I can't say they look like Cyndaquil and Totodile, Honoguma and Kurusu, I hope I'm pronouncing those two correctly, are two Pokemon that I've been hoping to see in the actual Pokemon games for a very long time. They were the alpha fire and water starters for Gold and Silver, along with Hoppa being the grass starter. And while they don't really look fit to be starter Pokemon, they still look like they could be really cool Pokemon. They got that simple yet complete look that Gen 2 Pokemon had to them, and they look like the start of a 3-stage pure type evolutionary line, just like the actual Johto starters. These two Pokemon have been some of the coolest unused Pokemon that we've seen so far, and I, as well as a bunch of fans, are hoping that we get to see them one day. The Cacnea family and Maractus clearly weren't meant to be the only cactus Pokemon, cause here we have the cactus Pokemon, Cactus. Now, obviously, these are alpha and beta names, so Cactus's name probably wouldn't have been Cactus, but then again, Seal is Seal, so maybe it would have just been Cactus. It looks like number 67 Cactus would have been a pure grass type Pokemon in Generation 1, which is kinda neat considering that Tangela is the only pure grass type from that generation, and it's a very peculiar Pokemon at that. A lot of these unused designs are designs that don't really share too many similarities with other Pokemon. Sure, Cacnea and Maractus are also cactuses, but what Pokemon has a body shape like Cactus and only one arm? Definitely would have loved to see the evolutions for this Pokemon. Then we have my favorite out of the bunch that was shown off in the manga, number 56, Deer, who to me looks more like a moose. Maybe that's just the Canadian in me, who knows, but I honestly do think that looks like a moose. A spiky steel armored moose at that. But again, this steel type wasn't in Gen 1, so I don't know what type Deer could have been. Maybe a normal type like how Stantler is, but I feel like it's got a bit more to it than that. And at the same time, I can't really put my finger on what type it could be. You're gonna have to let me know what you think its typing is in the comments down below. Deer's a very complex Pokemon for Generation 1 standards. It looks like it has a lot going on. On top of that, it kinda looks smug. We didn't have very many smug Pokemon back then, so it could have really spiced things up for us. And in battle too, cause it does look pretty powerful. Out of all the newly shown unused Pokemon, I hope that this one finds a spot in the games the most. But I do want to mention that there were other unused Pokemon that were shown off in the recent manga that were really blurry, but people have still tried their best to make designs for them that you can find all over the internet. Also, there are a lot of other cool unused Pokemon artwork that I didn't go over that was shown way before this manga. But since I only want to cover 10, we're gonna have to leave the rest and just wrap things up with the legendary beast looking Pokemon, Between the two quote-unquote Pokemon fusions, I would want this Pokemon any day. Though, I absolutely love Latias and Blaziken. The designer of the legendary beast, Muneo Saito, again sorry for the pronunciation, is also the one who designed this Pokemon. And it was said to be the Pokemon before Raikou and Suicune, and was later split to become Raikou and Suicune. So, kinda like a fusion between the two, except it was there before it could be a fusion, if that makes sense. Though I do see aspects of Suicune and Raikou in the design, its design is also very original. And this purple, blue, and yellow is also a very exotic color scheme. And it's just a cool looking Pokemon, man. Oh well, I can't complain cause it basically gave birth to both Suicune and Raikou, and I love those legendaries as well. So I'm happy. But like I said earlier, I'm hoping that we get to at least see some of these Pokemon. And let's go Pikachu, and let's go Eevee. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, be sure to check out those videos that I talked about earlier, and all the other cool stuff that I have on my channel. Take care of yourselves, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next video, alright? Later.